Welcome back to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast, where we solve life and business problems that transform businesses and individuals into happier and fulfilled ones. On this episode, we continue with part 5 of the self-leadership series, where Mr. Mafarafara and I go deep into how do you plan for success in 2020. The year has already begun. You might have had missed. You might have had fallen short. You might have had given up on the goals that you've set and the resolutions that you have resoluted to achieve in 2020. But I want to encourage you to go back, take this time to reflect. Did you plan the success that you want to achieve in 2020 correctly? Did you plan it in a systematic way that's executable? Or did you miss the mark? And on this podcast, we want to go deep, helping you. How do you plan to achieve? How do you plan on executing on whatever goals you've set out for yourself, whatever goals you've set out for your business, whatever goals you've set out for your family? And we share with you the step-by-step process, how to plan for success in 2020. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. You also mentioned that you had some questions for me. I don't know if we would have them here on the podcast.
Yes. It's just 2 questions. I think there will be enough for today.
Okay.
When you think about leadership, what is your leadership edge?
When I'm thinking about leadership,
what makes you stand out as a leader, whether a leader in the current form or leader as a developing person?
I would say that one thing that makes me stand out, or that gives me an edge, I don't know if I should speak from it purely from a leadership perspective or personally, but looking back and reflecting on my leadership style and what I've seen that makes me stand out, and what I also enjoyed doing was developing people.
Okay.
Because I remember looking back when I was leading home sales, you'd find that what I would really love doing and what I saw, even when I'm reflecting back, I realized that even at church, when they give me, or when they say that, no, Mr. Mamabolo, you are a speaker. We would like you to preach on this particular day. And I also find that whatever I do, it's sort of like people development. Or when I would be giving that particular message, let's say, for example, like last time, the message that I was preaching about was, how do you have a relationship with God? Not necessarily from what you are hearing people are saying, but you personally. And looking back, you'll find that even when people would come and say that, Mr. Mamabolo, we are listening to you speaking, or we are watching you lead, but when it comes to developing a particular person, or helping the youth to develop themselves, their careers, we notice that when it comes to them developing themselves and preparing themselves for their careers, or the choices that they will be making, whether personally or even from a church's perspective, that's what you do, and that's what we love you doing. And looking back even on me, and it's something that I do enjoy doing. So I would say that my edge would be in developing the people, or in trying, or in helping them. It's basically what I was thinking about. You know, when I named my company Igniting Dreams Within. Yes, at the time when I named, it was simply because the name that I had thought about, it wasn't the name that would describe what I wanted the company to do. But as I've been reflecting about it and branding, I realized that no, what I really do, or what I love doing, or what I do most of the time, is to ignite the dreams in other people. Whether it's at church when someone says that I've got this dream to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's in a corporation when someone says, no, I want you to do, the reason that we want you as a speaker is because we want you to do this and that. So I would say that the edge would be developing and igniting the dreams that people have, or that the dreams that people want to achieve, or maybe whether it's via their families or whatsoever. And maybe the last thing that I would say it's my edge would be, I don't know if I should say, an understanding of purpose or purpose. Because what I realized is that whenever I'm looking at things or I'm evaluating things, whether I'm leading or whatsoever, the first thing that always comes to mind is purpose. What is the purpose that this person is doing whatever it is that they are doing? Or what is the purpose that this particular person was leading, or when they wanted to transform their organization, what is it that they were looking for? What was the purpose that they were looking to do? Yeah, so we find that, I would say that for me, it would be those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I see three things. One is your ability to tap into the people's capacity in terms of developing them to realize and release it. Number two is to give life. So by putting fire into their whatever the things that they want to do. So you help them identify and you fuel it, because igniting is to fuel it, to give life. And then you ignite those things in line with the understanding of their personal mission on earth, which is their purpose.
Yes.
Okay, my last question for you. Our discussion today was purely based on how to look, on looking backwards, and looking into the present, and then looking into the future. Review what happened into the past, reflect on it, and see how to get into the future. I think that's what we talked about. When you make plans for the following year, what kind of steps do you use that somebody who's listening to this podcast today can actually say, this is how I can plan for my year? What kind of things that you, and make it a little bit as more practical as possible, so that someone who has never made a plan for a year can actually sit down and say, from this I can do it.
Okay, I don't know if I should say that, because what I've noticed is that the way I plan is constantly evolving. But for now, let me, the first thing that I do in whatever I do, I first check. The first thing that I do, whether I'm planning for business or personally, I first check that, I set the goal to say that, I want to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I first look at my purpose. And I evaluate, is this thing that I'm planning to do or that I wanna do, is it in line with my last purpose? And if it's not in line with my purpose, I've shared with you multiple times that I believe that we've got two kinds of purposes, grand and complementary purpose. Grand being the one that's for me, and complementary being me helping others or complementing others to achieve that particular purpose. So when I'm looking at whatever it is or that goal that I have, I would say, if this is not in line with my purpose, would me helping this particular person, or would me doing this help someone else fulfill the purpose that they have or the mission that they want to achieve with their own lives? So then when I realize that whatever it is that I'm planning or that the goal that I'm setting that I want to do, it's not in line with my purpose, and it's not even in line, or it's not going to help anyone that I know or that I can pinpoint, then maybe I need to reevaluate this thing. And now the second thing that I will check is time. Because one thing that I realized is that it's a lesson that I learned from Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe says that, the biggest thieves that would steal someone else's time that they have for them to fulfill their purpose or to accomplish their mission is to be so busy with good things that are not right for you and your purpose that you want to achieve. You'll find that you are busy doing things, or you are so busy, maybe you are doing things at work, you are doing things at home, or anywhere that you would be busy at. You find that you are busy with those things, but you realize that whatever it is that I'm busy with, it's not in line with my purpose, it's not going to help me, or it's not going to help other people. Yes, it seems good because I'm doing it and it's consuming my time. But in terms of the return on the time that I would be investing, or the resources that I would be investing in this particular project, it's not going to give me a return on investment, and it's going to end up costing me time. The time that I would be using doing this, it's not going to help me. Now, when I've checked time, I've checked purpose, the next thing that I'll be checking is, what do I lack? If it's a goal that I need to achieve, what are some of the things that I lack or that I'm incompetent in? Do I need to develop skills that would help me to be able to achieve that goal in the end? Do I lack maybe the personality or the character, or do I lack resources that I need to employ or to get the assistance of other people? Now, when I do that, I'm also able to say that where I am weak or where it's areas that I'm incompetent in, I would be able to have the right people who would be doing those things because I like these things. Then I would know that, no, okay, I would get a coach in this area, or I need to speak to so-and-so, or maybe I need to employ this person and that person. Now, when I've covered all those things, then the next step would be, now, what am I going to do about it? Now, because if I've planned and I've evaluated those things, now what am I going to do? Or how can I break this thing into manageable things that I would say that at the end, I've managed to achieve what it is that I want to achieve. Now, let's say, for example, it's 2020, we are planning into 2020. And I said that my goal is to make sure that maybe I build my business to such an extent that I'll be earning maybe, let's say, 100,000 of profit after the year has ended. Is that aligned with my purpose? I would ask myself that question. When I'm done with that, now we are coming to the practical things that I would be doing. I've seen areas where I lack, and I know that maybe I lack this and that. And I spoke to people who I know that they've got this thing, or I've spoken to mentors or people that I know that they are masters in this area. And they've shared with me that, okay, maybe you could buy this book or get this resource and get that resource. Now, when I've got all those things, then I would say that, okay, now I've got this entire year. I know the books that I should read that would help me to achieve my plan. How am I going to read those books if I need to read those books? Or they've recommended and say that, no, go and attend this particular workshop or this training. This guy would help you in assessing your life. When am I going to attend that particular area? And maybe in resources, how much would it cost me to develop myself up until the level that I would know that I would have developed? And when I've gotten that, then I would say that now, how are we going to practically, or how are we going to do? Now I know the areas that I'm weak at. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I should learn. But how am I going to execute? Or how much time am I going to allocate when I'm executing this thing? Like, let's say, for example, now let me give you what I have seen as something that I need to do in 2020. What I'm planning to do in 2020, what I realized, and I shared about this in my previous podcast, whereby I spoke about learning to do things or choosing things, in a sense that knowing your limitations.
Yes.
Knowing my limitations in such an extent that I know that my limits are there, and these are areas where I need to develop myself. But there are also areas where I might prematurely say that this is a limitation that I have. Not knowing that, no, the reason I'm saying that it's something that it's a limitation that I have, it's because I lack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I was sharing about that, what I realized was that, and it's also what we were talking about when we are here, when we were talking about the challenge that I said that I had for you. I realized that for me, the plan that I have, next year I want to make sure that I would release at least 2 apps.
Oh, nice.
And it's an app for business that I want to contribute towards the business sector. That I saw that, maybe let me not share deeply into the details, but it's an app that I want to develop for business.
It may be gone immediately.
Yes,
So, yeah.
It's an app that I want to develop for business. But at the very same time, I also want to develop an app that would not only profit me. The one that I do for business, it's for profit one. That's the one that I would want to generate income from it. And if someone comes and says that, Mr. Mamabolo, we like this and that, that's where we'll talk business. But at the very same time, there's an app that I want to do in terms of my contribution to either my province. Now, with regards to these 2 things, then what's the plan that I'm going to do? I realize that in terms of me, most of my productivity, I'm doing it early in the morning, when I wake up early in the morning. So what I'm going to do is that coming from now on, or from 2020, what I'll be doing is that the first 3 to 5 hours after I've woken up, because usually I wake up very early in the morning. So those first 5 hours, those 3 to 5 hours, I would make sure that I invest myself in my craft or in coding. I'll be looking at what I'll be doing when I'm coding. or what are the areas in computer science or artificial intelligence or whatever area that I need to develop myself in. So what I do when I plan, when I've realized, I always find that there's something that I need to do or an area that I need to develop myself in. So I also plan that this is an area that I need to develop myself in. So I look for, in my plan, I'm allocating time, maybe an hour, to say that, no, this is what the areas that I need to grow in. Maybe I'll be reading a book or whatsoever. That's fine. The other thing, it's practice. Me practicing or implementing. It's in those 4 hours that I'll be left with. Okay. In those 4 hours, I would need to be able to be developing maybe functions in programming. We are talking about when we are coding software or big things. We are talking about functions or pieces or classes. Every day I need to be working on a particular function or a particular class that would be for that particular software that I would be wanting to develop. That app that I would be developing for either for business or to my contribution. I need to allocate time. So first I'm allocating time for the areas that I need to develop myself in. The another time that I'm investing in, it's the time that I'll be doing the thing that I say that I need to be doing. And while I've done that, I would say that the another area that I look into when I'm planning is that, what am I learning? Because you'll find that whatever it is that I plan to do or whatever I'm learning, you might find that by the time I'm done or after a month, I realize that what I learned and what I had initially wanted to do, it's not the same thing.
Yes.
Now, from what I'm learning, in which areas can I make adjustments?
So there's an adjustment time.
Yes. From that plan that I have, I'm planning, yes. But what can I adjust? Because you might find that the market has moved, or someone has created that particular app or whatsoever, and I'm forced to adjust. So yes, I'll also look for areas that I need to adjust myself.
So as a matter of fact, there's room for improvement.
Yes.
Let me say this now. From what you have said, Mr. Mamabolo, I picked up 5 things.
Okay.
In summary of your planning process. I'm not going to talk to your planning process, but I'm going to talk about, and this is for the listeners as well, even for yourself.
Okay.
That from what you said, it's that there's a benefit to planning. And I need to clarify that. There's a big benefit to planning. You lose a lot if you don't plan.
Yes.
So from what you said, number one is that when you plan, your plan sort of helps you, or it empowers you in terms of gaining new skills at a personal level.
Yes.
And I'm trying to summarize here that it gives you, one, new habits. It gives you a new character. It can give you new belief, depending on the plan. Because when you depending on the level of your planning, you may realize that your planning is at level 1, but the execution must be at level 2.
Yes.
So even if the planning is at level 1, but the execution must be at level 2. So you have to have a new belief, you have to have a new habit, you have to have new values, you have to have new skills, you have to have new resources, you have to have new attitude, you have to even have new people other people that you do not have, and that's the power of a plan. That's the power of a plan. Number 2, your plan, it helps you to identify the resources that you do not have and the resources that you do not need. Because sometimes you may be here with all these resources, but your plan does not fit, or your resources, the resources that you have now do not fit into your plan. So it helps you to know what do you need to go and source out. If you need to source out a trainer, you mentioned a coach as well, then you may need a coach in a particular area, or somebody who knows something, so you know that I don't have this resource. Even when you're developing an app, there is somebody who knows something that you don't know, or information that you don't have. So it helps you, because of this app, I need to connect with so and so, or I need to look for a person like this. Number 3, your plan, it helps you to evaluate your strengths and weaknesses. Where are you now? What are you capable of doing? What do you need to be capable of doing? Number 4, your plan, it helps you to connect with new people. As you plan along and as you execute your plan, you realize that the people that you had now, like I was saying earlier, that you may find that our season of working together may come to an end now because I've delivered what I was supposed to deliver, but I have to get out so that somebody else can come in terms of the time that you invest. The last one is your plan should help you to know how to invest your own time, how to allocate your time. You mentioned that you are very productive in the morning. If you don't have plans, that morning is wasted.
Yes.
But if you have a plan, you know that I have to, because I'm very productive in the morning, so you invest more energy in the morning. So it helps you to know how to invest your time and how to invest your energy. So that when you're done with the key things that building towards your plan, anything else can happen. You've executed. I was watching the documentary, Bill Gates. And in that documentary, they say that, I think they were interviewing his wife to talk about Bill Gates. And she said that one thing that's important about Bill Gates is that he's got a routine. In the morning, he wakes up at a particular time and he does particular things. When he gets into the office, there's particular things that he does every day. And one of them, she says, he's got a creative room where he meets with other people to discuss something for an hour. And he's always on time. He never extends. And then number two, when he moves from that meeting, he goes to another meeting for another hour. When he moves from that meeting, he goes to another room where he is alone. And she said that in that room, there's no computer. It's only a whiteboard and a marker. In that room, and there are boards all over. They show the room. He's writing things. That's where he's developing algorithms of either the softwares that he's developing, or he's developing connections and methods for a project that he needs to do somewhere in Africa or something like that. And then he also has a meeting where they discuss questions. So it's a routine that every month these things must happen, and certain things like this one where he goes to a room must happen almost on daily basis when he's not traveling. So when you don't have a plan, those things don't happen.
They won't.
You don't even see that the sun is setting. You what's going on? You're always shocked by events, and most of the time you are overcome and overtaken and overwhelmed by events. Those were all my questions, and I think I should thank you. I should thank you for this wonderful time, man. It's wow. It was like I was at school. Thank you very much. And I hope the listeners will enjoy this. Well, I know.
Yes, they will.
I know. Definitely they will enjoy this. It's going to be a bomb. People can take this and use it. I mean, you can actually listen to this over and over. You just listen to the piece that speaks to you and over again until you become the best, so that nobody can ignore you.
Thank you for tuning in to this wonderful series on the self-leadership. I trust and I believe that you enjoyed this series. I believe that you got practical nuggets to help you plan, to help you lead yourself, to help you lead others, to help you lead your teams, to help you lead your business, to help you lead your company, the division that you are in charge of. And as you are going about in 2020, don't forget, one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. As you go about achieving your success in 2020 and leading yourself, remember that when you want to build yourself, my book, There Are No Secrets to Success, will help you build yourself, will help you build your team, will help you build your organization, will help you build your family, grounded in purpose, pursuing purpose together as a family, pursuing purpose together as a business, pursuing purpose together as a church, pursuing purpose together as an organization. And Mr. Mafarafara's book helps you while you're pursuing your purpose. How do you step onto the next level while you're pursuing your purpose? Make sure you get those powerful and wonderful resources to help you discover, grow, and fulfill your purpose as an individual. Fulfill your purpose as a business. Fulfill your purpose as a church. And to step to the next level in pursuing your purpose in your business, to step to the next level in pursuing and fulfilling your purpose in your family and in every sphere of influence. And if you want me and Mr. Mafarafara to coach you, our details are below. Contact me and contact Mr. Mafarafara, and let's help you step your life and your business to the next level in purpose, not out of purpose and out of your calling and the mission that you were created for. Let us help you take your life where it is, to help you and to ignite the dreams that you have, to put your life where you want it to be. Thank you very much for tuning in to the podcast. Please share with your friends, family, and loved ones, and follow Mr. Mafarafara on his self-mastery podcast to learn more about him and what he does and the great work that he's doing. Make sure to attend his events. The Pharmacist Dinner will be hosting a Pharmacist Gala Dinner very soon and some other events throughout the year. Make sure you follow me and Mr. Mafarafara on social media so that you'll be able to be well informed about those events in our lives. Thank you for tuning in, my friends. I will see you in our next series next time. Bye-bye.